From calling him a lost puppy to saying that his father made him a worse fighter, Jake Paul's been trash-talking Tom Fury again. And if you feel like there's a lot to catch up on, then don't worry, I got your back. I'll tell you everything the problem child has to say to this younger boxer. To begin with, Paul thinks that his father is ruining his career. Now, that's actually a bit surprising. You see, it's often parents who push their children towards a better position in their careers. But I guess that's not the case in this scenario. Well, at least not in Jake's opinion. According to the YouTube star turned fighter, the young Fury still hasn't progressed one bit since his first fight. If you didn't know, this coming weekend, the two are supposed to have an ultimate showdown in Saudi Arabia. Now, what's interesting about this is the fact that Fury withdrew from 2 of his bouts against the problem child. Of course, it wasn't because he's chickened out or anything. In fact, one of these times, Tommy got injured and fell ill.
Contracted a bacterial chest infection, which led me go to the gym and just not being able to breathe. You know, I was in my sparring sessions.
And as for the other, the United States refused to give him entry. But how does his father come into play? Well, Jake Paul was actually very critical about his future opponent's training. The ex-YouTuber talked about his own progress, saying that he was getting around 33% each year. Wow, that's a pretty specific number, isn't it? Seems like the boxer has done quite the math when it comes to his own performance.
Sparred with former world champion Jean Pascal and also cruiserweight contender.
But of course, he also did some freelance work for his prospective opponent. According to Jake, he's not improving, so the math amounts to 0%. In his own words, he's really stuck in his ways of how he is as a boxer. And can you guess why this is happening? Okay, so he thinks that the blame is all on his trainer, which, just by the way, happens to be his dad. The problem child made sure to hint at the fact that Tommy should switch his trainer. Okay, if he actually listens to the older fighter's advice, then that's going to amount to quite a few awkward Thanksgiving dinners. Well, Jake Paul said that Fury has worked with other trainers as well. And guess what? According to Fury, these trainers were much better than his father.
Inside 2 rounds.
Yikes, that sounds a bit harsh. The other trainers he was talking about include some pretty famous names. Yep, that's right. I'm talking about Ricky Hatton. And Shane McGuigan. But the thing is that while he might be with big names in the industry, his father, John Fury, was always there. Tommy also talked about it, saying that his dad was his primary trainer and that he has always been his primary trainer. So I guess that the father and son duo is happy with the status quo because, to be honest, I don't see that changing anytime soon. And get this, Fury also clarified this point.
Normal trainers, you know, they won't know you like your father, so for me to train with him every single day, it's a blessing for me to do that.
He said, for anyone out there saying we can't do this or that, this is another fight where we're going to show you what we can do. Okay, well, that's something. And I guess it's good news for Jake Paul, since he's confident about the fact that Tommy hasn't improved one bit. This only points toward the fact that the stakes are immensely high for the young fighter. He's been unable to impress his legions of fans in his 6 rounds against Bochansky.
There it is. Nice right hand over the top.
And what's even crazier about this is that just a little later, we saw his brother completely annihilate Dylan White at Wembley Stadium.
Fury with the uppercut. What a punch! He doesn't know where he is. The bell might not.
All right, this might not be completely related to the topic here, but the thing is that both of them have the same father, right? I bet John is similarly involved in his other son's career as he is with Tommy, even if it's not that open to the public. So is it really their father's fault? Now that's certainly a head-scratcher. Why don't you tell me what you think in the comments below? Anyway, the match is also very important for this young fighter because his bouts with Bochansky were also unsuccessful. If you manage to tune into his fights with Anthony Taylor and Jordan Grant, you know perfectly well what I'm talking about. Oh, and one more thing. The players that he has managed to stop don't really have that much of an impressive record.
Now he's turned his man. Now he starts to unload.
All right, this is definitely a point in favor of Jake Paul's accusations. Now, please don't come at me with pitchforks and stuff, and you can keep the roasts out of the comments section as well, because I am in no way hinting at the fact that Tommy might not be good. Nope, not at all. In fact, he's got what it takes to become a great fighter, and he comes from a family of boxers. So it's basically in his blood. But the thing is, his track record isn't all that impressive. He's managed to defeat 4 opponents till now. And can you guess the stats these opponents boast of? They've got a combined record of 2 wins and 2 draws. Now, this should be enough of a shock for everyone, but oh no, man, have I got dessert for you right here. They've actually got 72 defeats amongst themselves.
Just warning about punches around the back. Oh, there's another terrific shot.
Now, this definitely isn't the sort of career Tommy Fury should be going after. So collectively, this wound up to around 5 or so reasons why his upcoming bout with Jake Paul is a very high-stakes situation. Honestly, maybe he should think about investing in a new and more experienced primary trainer.
Come on, Tommy. It's your hand. Come on, come on. Come on, Tommy. Again.
Oh, and if he's at a loss regarding whom he should hire, then he could always turn to Jake Paul for advice. I bet he'd be more than happy to help him out. His future in the sport doesn't seem all that bright with the way things are progressing at the moment. I mean, you might like the former Love Island star, but here's the thing. Fury's recent performances have been quite underwhelming. Okay, that's an understatement. And on top of this, he also managed to remain an undercard fighter. So not many people expected that much for him. But if you've got an older brother like Tyson, chances are that people are going to want to question why you're still struggling. Oh, and did you know his fight in the upcoming week is going to be the first time he'll be headlining a pro fight?
26 across the globe in over 175 countries in the United States on ESPN Plus pay.
Now that's definitely a huge achievement for the young fighter. But trust me when I say that it's not that simple. In fact, if I was to say that his career depends on this, won't be wrong, because it actually does.
I mean, at the end of the day, my sole goal since starting boxing has always been the same. It's to be a world champion.
Yep, both his father and brother have stated that if Tommy doesn't do well in this fight, then he'll have to retire. What's more is that it's not just the younger fighter's career on the line, it's actually Fury's reputation. Jake seemed to realize this and said, "It's unfortunate I have to take on the runt of the family and hurt the Fury family name." Oh well, how noble of him, am I right? Jake Paul did have a suggestion for his future rival, though. He said that had he fought him back in 2021, things would not have been as bad for him.
Face to face. Let's keep it calm and collected. This is a fight 2 years in the making.
And, well, he's right. But back then, Jake was still learning, so it would have been a close fight. But sadly, now his career is at stake, and there's no coming back from that. Oh, well, I can't say much about this apart from wishing him good luck, and that's all I have in Jake Paul's opinion of Tommy Fury's father.